Hey, what's up, guys? I am in the car, and but I wanted to talk about that kiss at the BET, not BET, NAACP, BET, just the lame black organizations. They're all kind of the
Did we
same.
miss it or what? We missed
The NAACP Image Awards. I don't watch that.
I like.
I'm not a fan of the
I like
NAACP.
watching it. You know, it's interesting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
You don't watch it.
well, I showed you the kiss. I just showed you
Yeah.
this kiss, and you guys can look it up online. I'm not going to use any footage that might be copyrighted, so I'm not trying to get in trouble. But basically, Omari Hardwick, he goes up to Beyonce and he kisses her on the cheek, and then he comes up and he hugs her, and then he kisses her again, and the kiss is like right here, like it's very close to the mouth, but he didn't hit the mouth. It was very close to the mouth. And there are a lot of people kind of reacting. I would say overreact. They're reacting pretty heavily.
Oh, so people are reacting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, everything's, a lot of things are becoming like a Me Too episode, and so let's see. I wanted to know what everybody thought about it, and I was curious about what you thought. What do you think? Did you react to the kiss? Like, if a man kissed you like that 2 times, like, how would you feel?
I would not think anything about it, but it depends on how well they know each other. Like, but I was saying that like we spent some time in the Caribbean. We spent all that time in the Caribbean, and that was just a natural greeting. You just kiss both sides of your cheek, to greet someone.
But well, he kissed her on the same side twice. So it was like a side cheek, then it was like
a hug, and then it was
a
a
hug,
side
and then
cheek.
another little kiss. And the question becomes
I
like,
don't know.
what was that all about? Was there more to it? I honestly, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I felt like it was a lot. Like, I felt like the first kiss was fine. I think the second one was too much. But then again, I think it's like kind of like, okay, how do you react to that? Like, I think it's like, even when there's like a legit issue, sometimes I think we still want to overreact to it. You know what I mean? And I think that, I think 2 kisses. I'm in your category, 1988 eye candy. I think that it's one of those things where it's like, okay, you could kiss the girl, that's cool, but the woman, she's not a girl, but kissing her twice and then kissing that close to somebody's mouth, like, nobody likes to be kissed on the lips, because you don't know where those lips be in. People's lips have been in damn sewers and garbage dumpsters and shit. So what do y'all think? Let me see. Nick G says Ghost gotta chill. I think Ghost is the name of his character on Power. I don't watch Power. Have you seen
I don't watch. I tried to watch Power, but I just couldn't sit through it.
Is it like nigga TV?
I don't know what it is like, but I'll try it again. Let's try sitting through it again.
Okay, we will. I mean,
because a lot of people who I respect very well love that show.
Really?
Enough for me to let me give it another chance.
Really? Okay. What do you guys think about Power? Is it good? Let's see. You caught Beyonce's exhale though. Ghost probably smell good as fuck.
What was her reaction to it? Did she feel like it was something?
Well, she didn't say nothing. Beyonce and Jay-Z are pretty quiet. They just usually don't talk about anything publicly, unless it's like to promote an album or something like that.
I think that's smart.
Yeah, they are smart. Let's see. The Beehive attacked his IG in response to it. LOL. I mean, well, I think one thing we can make clear is that he didn't rape her. He's not a predator, right? And I think that, we kind of want to make every man into a predator. Like, I was thinking about the Cardi B stuff earlier today, and I was thinking about,
Were you really?
Yeah, I looked at the headlines. I looked at the news headlines to see like the difference, and I noticed that like there were headlines right near the Cardi B headline. There was a Bill Cosby headline, because their names are coming together in the search engines, and the headlines about Cardi were all in her defense. The headlines about Cosby were pretty much humiliating him further, and it's almost like with
Who's defending Cardi B?
a lot of people, a lot of the feminists, salon.com, I think it was, and some Essence magazine defended Cardi B.
Essence defended her?
Yeah, well, there was an Essence writer that defended Cardi. Yeah.
Well, then it's endorsed by Essence.
Yeah, and they
ain't gonna let you.
Right. And they were basically saying like, she's not a Bill Cosby. There's no comparison. But I think that's stupid. No, she.
Really?
Yeah, she did drug men. She violated them. She robbed them. Because I was thinking about this. I said, what if you took the rape out of the equation, right? What if Bill Cosby was caught drugging women so he could rob them? How would that have been seen? Would he have been seen as a predator? I think he still would have been seen as a predator, right? So if a man said, yeah, I drug women, so I lure them in, make them think I like them, so I can drug them and take their money. And let's say the man says, I'm gay, I really don't want the pussy, I just want the money, right? So I don't rape these women, I rob them. Like, would that person still be seen as a predator? I think that they would be. So I think with the Cardi B situation, she is a predator. I mean, there's no question. I mean, if you call Cosby and other people predators, then you must call her a predator.
Well, for her to brag about it, from what you showed me, means that she doesn't see anything wrong with it.
Well, it wasn't so much she was bragging about it. She was talking about it as if like this is a reflection of her struggle. Like, I went through all of this, and I used to have to drug and rob niggas in order to get money.
She was the victim in that.
Right. But that's
felt
another
like
thing
she
feminism allows you to do. Feminism always allows the woman to be the victim, even when she's
feminine. Just say,
sorry.
Say commercialized.
Commercialized.
Can you just
commercialized feminism.
Please.
I think you should be a womanist. I think tell her, please.
We know.
We need to embrace womanism.
You know that's what I'm really talking about is womanism. Right. But let's just say commercialized feminism. Let's just say commercialized.
Okay, commercialized feminism.
Yes.
Let me see. John Perry says rules. You side hug a man's wife. That's it. Anything else? The line is crossed. Okay. Omari Hardwick was in the Carter's music video entitled Family Feud. Beyoncé and Jay-Z know him well, so they do know him well.
So they know him well, so I doubt it's a big deal.
I love Cardi B. I hate she's in the center of this, but fair is fair. A man would have been crucified for this. Absolutely. It looked like he was a really good friend. Yeah, but even with a good friend though, that whole double kiss. I mean, come on now. Her face is the reaction. Yeah, well, you can see her face, but you don't know what that really means. It almost reminds me of that whole thing with the pastor and Ariana Grande, and how people were like, oh, we can tell how she felt, or we can tell that she was uncomfortable. And it's like, you can't read somebody's mind. You don't know, you don't know what his intention was. You don't know what her reaction truly is. So I think that a lot of times we get these people that want to insinuate and figure things out. And
when you said kiss, I was thinking like, remember Halle Berry, that one guy came up to her and kissed her? I thought it was like smack on the lips kiss. Like that.
No, it was like kiss on the cheek, but close to the mouth, and a double kiss. And I think that's the issue like people have, is that it was a double kiss. And, and I think that it's just kind of, I think any man who supports like a lot of the Me Too stuff has to be really careful, because all that shit circles back around. Like, I think Joe Biden just got busted on some Me Too stuff.
Well, tell me what happened with him.
Well, this lady says that he made her feel uncomfortable. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Like, nobody knows what the fuck that he made you feel. He kissed her on the back of her head, and it felt creepy and uncomfortable. so you're trying to like fuck up this man's whole life because he made you uncomfortable. Do you know how many times a woman has made me uncomfortable? It made me been like, I can't stand this woman. She's getting on my goddamn nerves. I'm very uncomfortable right now. I'm very uncomfortable with you harassing me. Like, and I can say that. I can say, yeah, I was uncomfortable, but ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. Ain't nobody gonna listen. They're gonna be like, well, that's your problem. You need to get into another environment. Go be around somebody else. So I think that, I think that just that whole conversation has to be tamed a little bit.
Made you uncomfortable? I mean,
absolutely. I mean, I've been in abusive relationships. I've been in with women.
What you been doing?
I had a situation. I told you about my situations where because the thing is, men deal with men differently from how they deal with women. Sometimes the worst thing a man can be is a complete gentleman, because a complete gentleman ain't never gonna hit a woman. He ain't never gonna.
Love
he's
yourself
gonna.
first.
No. But listen. What he'll do though is he'll patiently let a woman run off at the mouth. And no, nigga, shut your ass down. Fuck you, nigga, little whippy motherfucker. Like he'll let her do all of that, and he'll stay cool. And she'll keep doing it because she thinks it's okay.
Can I give you a kiss?
That's what I'm saying. Like, the worst thing for a man to be sometimes is a complete gentleman.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
I want to be a gentleman to you. I'm only going to be a gentleman to ladies. So, like, if you were a woman that was yelling at me, harassing me, and talking crazy to me, I would not want to be around. I will walk away from you, and I would not talk to you again.
Okay.
All right. Give me a kiss.
Sweetheart.
All right.
Mwah.
Love you.
I'll see you in a bit.
All right. I'll see you in a little bit. Let's see, Jay looked like somebody stole his candy. He was a bit carried away, but we may be reading too much into it. So what do I do? Do I just go in and they just give me my car?
You gotta pay people.
Okay. I think I brought some money.
You got money?
Yeah, I'm good. You
sure?
Yeah, I got it. Okay, I'm going to go in here and get my car, and then I'll just, you guys can hang out and listen in on the conversation. Listen. Hey, how you doing? So, we all done?
You got a call from Tab? I thought we are.
Sorry? Oh, yes. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Last name Watkins. By the end of this meeting, men will not be allowed to come. Yeah. I agree, Kareem.
National Tire and Battery, Frank speaking.
Let me see. Yes, he overdid it. I think Omari is a good friend. Yes. She's a crazy Illuminati. Yeah, I agree with that. Are you talking for the first time that we don't know about? Probably if we don't know about one another. Well, I agree. Yeah, it does make a difference. Of course, he cares about his wife. He was shocked, just like her. Google Beyonce, Kathy Smith. Who's Kathy Smith? Jay-Z, the GOAT. He had free Lil Uzi. Okay. Archie, and how do you know that this is supposed to be an intelligent platform? I'm waiting on my car, so. Come on, let me see. I think it was a mistake. He didn't realize he was that close to her mouth. People make it a big deal. Well, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. But it could have been a mistake. The kiss was completely out of line. Okay. Oh, hit the thumbs up button. Do that for me if you don't mind. Give me a thumbs up. She died from a brain hemorrhage. Oh, Jay-Z's mistress for over 15 years. Really? Wow. I didn't know that. A few years ago. You want me to just wait over? I can just wait over here for you. I don't want to. Trying to get my car. Hey, you want me to just wait over here until you call me? Okay, got you. Thanks. What's wrong with the car? I had an issue with the battery. I started the car, and the battery did not fire off, so I had to get a new battery. It's nothing big. It's kind of it's a new used car, so it's used. As I was saying yesterday, it's not smart to buy a new car, so I don't buy new cars. I buy used cars. Brooklyn Style was deleted. Okay, there's plenty of videos talking about it. Yep. Jay will slap that Jigga. Jigga what? Jigga who? Yes, he did. Who would not, though? I agree. Why do you all have to make a story about every damn thing? That's a good question, Robert. I agree with you. What city are you from? Shout out your city, your business, or your dream. Your city, your business, or your dream. The more you shout out your dream, the more likelihood it has of coming true. Archie Mack from BK. Fred Jackson from Detroit. Why do I feel people want to take the heat away from Cardi B? I think they do. What's up, Doc from Brooklyn and Atlanta doing real estate? Smart. Yeah, Andre Hatchett went from Brooklyn to Atlanta, and he's doing real estate down there too. You should link up with him. Atlanta's a good place to go do real estate if you're used to doing New York, because New York is so competitive, so expensive. But when you go to Atlanta, you're going to be excited. Or if you aren't already, I mean, you're already there, but shoot, Atlanta is like night and day in terms of the opportunities. 1988 Eye Candy, dream to be debt-free and wealthy. Love the pro-black channel, Oakland. Thank you, King HD. I appreciate that. Yeah, we need more black media, and all media is one person getting a message to another. You ready? Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna pay for this car.
253 even, just like that.
All right. Do I swipe it? It is a credit. Just let me know when you're ready. Okay. Okay, sign in the box.
I'd ask for 20.
I should get a $3.
Probably because you didn't bring us any lunch. That's probably why you didn't get the $10. You didn't bring us any lunch. That's probably why you didn't get the $10 off.
UK. What happened to Nicole Compton's show? I think she got busy. But, all right, thank you.
Signature for me, okay?
All right, got you. Thank you.
The battery has a 30-month free replacement.
30 months.
30 months.
Okay.
And 72-month prorated after that. So anything happens in the first 30 months, that's on the house.
Awesome. Thank you very
All right,
much, sir.
you're quite
Appreciate that.
welcome.
And those are my keys. Is that
Yeah, you
right?
can have
Okay. Thank you. So
All right.
is parked out here?
I don't know where they park it. Usually we try to park on that side.
Okay.
If it's not there, it's going to be on the other side. of the house.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
All right,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it. Y'all have a good day. Thank you. Kept looking for my car. I agree. Omar was happy to be in Beyonce's presence. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I think the kiss was a little awkward, and I think that people have a right to say, "Don't kiss me like that." I also think, when you talk about, people in Hollywood are kind of straight up hoes. So when somebody's putting their lips on your lips, you could be getting exposed to something that you don't want to be exposed to. Because a lot of all these people got diseases and shit. You can't fuck that many people and not catch something, right? So I think that they, that's the part of so-called toxic masculinity or just irresponsible behavior that we should talk about. Either women who are having sex with tons and tons of nasty men, or men who just think they're supposed to sleep with any woman who looks good. I think that's dangerous for a lot of reasons. I'm not saying you shouldn't have sex. Everybody has sex. I'm just saying be smart about it. My God, like some people just, like they act like they're Superman, like they can't catch nothing. And I'm just like, no, you can catch things. People catch things every day. So I think that would be the part that would probably annoy me, is like you're putting your lips on a person and, we don't know where those lips have been. But I think overall, like it looked like an awkward moment for both of them. Almost like he didn't quite realize what he was doing. Like maybe, not so much nervousness, but maybe him moving his lips again, or just sometimes if you're nervous, you do something, you don't think about it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it should be something that people where you get labeled like, oh, you're a predator for that. But I think that there can be a conversation in terms of women having the right to say, this is what most of us consider to be appropriate contact. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, I don't even kiss women when I eat, whether I know them or not. I give them a hug. I'm a hugger. Maybe I'm old fashioned, but I don't feel like I'm supposed to be kissing you unless I'm intimate with you. A woman can kiss me on the cheek and I don't care. It's not a big deal to me. But I've had that happen maybe with in-laws or whatever, where they will kiss me on the cheek, but I won't kiss them. I always hug because I don't want that to be misinterpreted. And I think that where it's scary for men is that I can just think of 1,000 situations where a man was completely innocent in his intention. He wasn't trying to hurt nobody. And he just told a woman that he thought she was attractive. And because he told her that she was attractive, or told her that or maybe he asked her on a date or whatever, and because of how she was feeling about, what he said, because of her internal feelings or her internal emotional imbalance, she goes off the deep end and makes it into something other than what it is. And I think that's the part that's really screwed up about it all, is that, it makes men scared to talk to you. If I was single right now, which I'm not, I'm happily unsingle, but if I was single right now, I would be very nervous about approaching any woman. I would have to know her for 6 months before I even consider asking her on a date, because I need to know what kind of emotional balance you have. How do you view men? Like, you can tell, and this is maybe advice to other men, like, you got to look at how a woman views men. If she views men as the reason for every problem she has in her life, like men are, like, oh, my father screwed me up because of this, my ex-husband was that, my ex-boyfriend was a piece of shit, men do this, men do that, and she identifies with things like the Me Too movement and all that. You got to watch that, man, because you might be dealing with a serious predator who doesn't even know that they're a predator. That's the worst kind of predator there is. The worst kind of predator is a predator who doesn't know that they are a predator who thinks they are a motherfucking victim. You got people out there like that. If you want to understand it in a more generalized example, think about men who are abusive. when you think about an abusive man, a man who will just do some old punk shit like punch a woman in the face, you know, kick her ass or whatever, you know, real men don't do that, right? But punk ass men out here, we know we got men out here that don't do that. Go talk to an abusive man to understand the mind of a predator. You know, because what he'll tell you, he'll never fess up. He'll never say, yeah, I lost control and I had to beat her ass and I know it's wrong because a man shouldn't hit a woman. He won't say that. He'll say, you know, well, let me tell you what she was doing to me. Oh, that bitch cheated on me. Or, oh, she's always in my ear. Or, oh, he's gonna shape the conversation because he's a bitch. Because that's what bitch ass men do. Bitch ass men hit women. Every bitch ass man who hits a woman will always shape the conversation and the narrative to make himself the victim. And so that's in his mind, that's how he justifies the fact that he had to punch her out. In his mind, he feels like he had no choice. Of course I had to punch her out. Look at what she was doing to me. Look at how she was harming me. Look at how she was victimizing me. So you gotta watch out for powerful predators who identify themselves as the victim. It happens on the male side a lot. Now it's starting to happen a lot on the female side. Because so we've always had a society that allows women to claim victimhood. And typically, you know, their attacks on men would be more so like emotional, or maybe, you know, they go and talk shit about them or whatever. But now it's becoming real. Now it's like, if a woman decides that she's victimized by you and she wants to abuse you and harm you, then she'll go out and say something about you. And those words have power. Those words are something that can cause you to lose your job. They can cause you to lose your reputation. Sometimes they can even cause you to go to jail. So it's becoming very dangerous in the sense that because we don't have due process anymore, we don't investigate things, we don't look into things, we just believe it because somebody said it. Next thing you know, everything you've worked for is gone. You know, everything you've focused on creating your whole entire life is gone. You know, and I just think that that's wrong. You know, and so anyway, where was I? So we were talking about just generally speaking. You know, addressing or dealing with women that you meet. My advice to men that I give them is, you got to look at a woman's disposition in terms of seeing how fair she is. What kind of person? There's real women out here who are grown ass women who won't take no shit. And they know what shitty behavior looks like. Like my woman. You know, if a man's out of line, you know, she'll smack his ass, or she'll say, no, nigga, you ain't doing that shit to me. Like, that's her attitude. She's kind of old school with it, right? And so with women like that, you're relatively safe, because as long as you don't get out of line and do anything ridiculous, they're not going to do anything ridiculous to you. But then you got some people where they are incapable, absolutely, completely incapable of taking responsibility for anything that they do. Every single thing. I don't. Tell me if you know anybody like this. Tell me if you've ever known a person like that, where they literally have no ability whatsoever. Ooh, I'm getting this. Check this out. That's Oreo flavored coffee cream. Tell me that's not amazing. But they have no ability to accept responsibility. People like that are just dangerous, especially if they have power. You know, it's almost like it's like a Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump is kind of a spoiled prick who's used to having everything he wants. And in his mind, his shit does not stink. He's never made a mistake. He's never, hurt anybody. He's only had people hurt him, right? So when you give a person like that, a little tyrant, that much power, a tyrant that's got, Donald Trump's probably got a little 2-inch dick, and he's going around, just constantly attacking people with the power that he's been granted. You give, presidential power to a person like that, everybody's gonna get the shit. Everybody's gonna go through some shit with him, So for some people, male and female, this goes across gender lines. Some people are not worthy of having power. Some people just don't have the balance mentally. They can't be trusted. They're going to use it for their own selfish purposes. And for some reason, we have a hard time believing that that can happen when it comes to women. And I've just seen it, you know. I mean, like I said, I was telling you guys earlier, I think sometimes the worst thing a man could be is a gentleman. And sometimes the worst thing a woman can be is a woman who submits to men. You know, if a woman submits to a man and he's a real man and he's a decent man and he respects her and he does what he's supposed to do, he leads the way he's supposed to lead, and he's responsible and reliable and everything else, then it works. It works really well. You know, you submit to him, he carries the load, he does what the hell he's supposed to do, everything works out. But if you're submitting to a guy who is stupid and lazy and ignorant and irresponsible and, you know, whatever, then your life becomes miserable, right? So I'm getting some ice cream. That's what I'm here for. Okay, I think I got everything I need. I always like to make banana splits when I get home. She gets mad at me for making banana splits, but I tell her, I'm like, look, I'm running all these races and running 20, 30 miles at a time. I can have a banana split whenever I want to. I got to run a half marathon next week. She sprung that shit on me today. She was like, don't forget, boys, we got a half marathon on Sunday. I'm like, God, I still haven't recovered from the last one. Good Lord. Damn woman. I definitely feel Omari respectful. He is a fan and a friend. Bernadette, my rebuttal would be he married outside his race, so he is not even interested in Beyonce. Oh, okay. We're going there. Man was just being friendly. Yes, Corinne tells them some people don't know. Some people know, some people don't. Hello, family. Hey, Isaac, how are you? Too Tall McCall. That's funny. That's a great name. Beyonce knocked his equilibrium off. She's gorgeous. He misjudged where her mouth was located. She's gorgeous, but Beyonce, I mean, she's pretty, but there's a lot of pretty women. When you're Omari Hardwick, you meet 10 pretty women a day, you know. And a lot of them are 10 years younger than Beyonce too. So I'm not saying Beyonce isn't pretty. She is a pretty lady, but, you know, don't think that looks. I'm a believer that for women, looks is not the best way to separate yourself from the pack. Like, looks work, but looks fade. What I have found is that, like, when a woman is really special to me, it ain't just because of what she looks like. It's because of who she is. Like, you can't, you know, like external beauty can fade and it gets old and you can get tired of it. But internal beauty can be original and unique, and it lasts forever. You know, if you know somebody's always a good person, they always love you, they always really have your back, they always really care about you. I don't even think people even know what it means to care about a person. I don't think they know. I think they know what it means to like a person. They might even know what it means to love a person. But if you think about it, you know, you can love a car. I can love a house. I can love a chicken sandwich. But that doesn't mean that I care about the chicken sandwich. That doesn't mean I care about the house or care about the car. You know, and I think that, you know, to some extent, I would love to actually, not that I'm an expert on this, but I guess being 47 makes you an expert on, you know, stuff that you didn't understand when you were younger. I would love to explain what love actually is. I would love to explain, because I've actually thought about that. I know you're right, only mature men speak that way. Yeah, I know. So find you a mature man. That's what you got to do. Don't date a knucklehead. But really, I had to think. I thought long and hard about what love really is, and what I realized is that if I really love somebody, that love is almost unnatural, in the sense that if loving and really caring about somebody is hard to do, because sometimes caring about somebody means you support them in what they're doing, even if it's not what you want them to do, right? So let's say that I love a woman, and I say, I love her, I really care about her. And somebody says, well, you know, she needs more attention, and you're not giving her attention. You can't give her attention because of your job. Well, some people might argue that if I really love her, I will let her, you know, be with a man that's going to give her the attention that she needs. And a lot of us can't really do that. We're not into giving away the person we love, or letting them do what's really best for them. Like we're in support of them doing what's best for them as long as it's best for us too. But when it's no longer good for us, we're not happy about it. We kind of, we can get, selfishness can kind of erupt in our system, and so I really think that standardized love is pretty selfish. Real love is selfless. Selfless requires you to almost reach what they refer to as self-actualization, which is where you truly have the ability to give yourself to something greater than yourself. Immature people can't do that. Immature people are not self-actualized. They're very selfish. We want what we want, and we don't care if it hurts people, or maybe we kind of do, but we don't really care. That kind of shit. I like to get these little sodas because I don't like drinking a whole big sodas too much. Like these are too big, but I'll get the little ones. And I like to get root beer because the kids don't drink root beer. Here he go. Shut up and stay on topic. Ali, you better be quiet. When these moderators gonna shut your ass down, they're gonna put you in timeout. You better shut the fuck up. Beyonce felt disrespected. Felt the disrespect. Look at her reaction. Okay. Love is not worshiping Beyonce, but your family. Okay. You really think you should take 6 months to know a woman before you date her? Yeah, because I value myself. Not 6 months, but I've done that before. If I'm not sure, I have to take as much time as I need in order to be sure that it's the right move. Because when you are in a space, I'm gonna tell you like this, I'm gonna tell you the truth. When you become perceived as a man who, is pretty powerful, pretty intelligent, and pretty rich, like I do have more money than most people do. It's like being the prettiest girl in the room. Like you don't run out of women trying to, hit on you. I think when I was less mature, I would have thought, that's great. Oh my God, look at all this pussy. Look at all these women. This is great. But shit, once I got older and I kind of, processed it, I was like, this is not really a blessing. This is a high risk situation, very high risk. All it takes is just one really bad one that just is vindictive and nasty or whatever, and that's willing to go tell a lie. And there's a whole lot of people out here willing to tell a damn lie. So, it didn't mean I didn't date. Like when I was single, I did date. That's what you got to do. That's how I'm with the woman I am with now. I chose to date, but I was cautious. I wasn't trying to go chase every pretty girl that came my way. That's not smart. You end up in bad. It's like being offered. It's like an alcoholic being offered liquor every day. You ain't supposed to always take a drink just because the bottle's available. You don't do that. You make yourself vulnerable. And so I kind of think, like, look at AJ from from Extra. He used to be on BET. His ass is done. He will never. You hear me? He will never, ever get a job with Extra. He will probably never ever get a job doing entertainment for anybody. He gonna be behind the scenes. They're gonna put his ass back in the kitchen now. He's not ever going to be on TV and be the face of anything. Because all they're gonna do is Google his ass. They're gonna be like, oh, he was accused of what? And then they're gonna be like, well, we don't know if he's guilty or not, but we don't want to take any chances. We're gonna go get somebody with a clean record. So the only people that have clean slates in this society right now are gay men and women. Those are the only ones, because they don't call out their shit. They won't call out a woman and be like, oh, she's a hoe and she's fucked 100 people in the industry and she's, told them to give her money. Like, they don't do that. They don't have a Me Too movement that hits women, and they don't have a Me Too movement that hits gay men. It's all about attacking straight males. You don't believe me? Go look at all the examples of who they taken down. Straight male. Everybody, so I kind of think Kevin Spacey, even him, they didn't really take him down. Kevin Spacey's getting a slap on the wrist. His shit is barely making the headlines anymore, So basically, it's kind of like there's no surefire way to always protect yourself, but there are situations where you are careful and situations where you're not careful. And if you go into a situation and you're not careful and some shit pops off, and you get dealt a major injustice, it just kind of sucks to look back and be like, you know, I had my suspicions in the beginning, but I didn't, but I was lured by the pussy. Like the pussy got my attention and I couldn't think about anything else. You know, so that's my 2 cents. Let me see. Beyonce probably starstruck as well. However, she does not want the fans to say that she was being friendly or loose. She also viewed this man as a man. Boy, she recently said black men are being predatory when bringing up wigs and weaves to a black woman. These front lace wigs and salon visits cost $700 a pop. This is not conducive. Yeah, I agree, but I think we got to be really careful because I see a lot of men doing dumb shit with our money too. You know, like just the amount of money we waste chasing pussy, like that right there is something we could be heavily criticized for. When you got a Negro that can't even pay his child support, but he taking women out to Red Lobster and feeding them cheddar biscuits and shit so he can get some more ass. Like all that can be called out, and I just kind of think we got to be cautious. We must make sure if we do have a critique, just, you know, I think we could bring it up respectfully. I don't think a good black woman with a wig or a weave should be attacked for having a wig or a weave. I just don't think that's my business, you know. And I've never said don't buy wigs or weaves. I've never said don't buy Jordans. I've never said don't buy new cars. I've just said don't do that at the expense of your economic future. Like, just make sure you handle your business first, you know. Because if I was to be critical of people who buy nice cars, then I'd have to criticize myself. You know, I just bought an Infiniti QX, whatever the fuck they call it, and it's kind of a luxury car. It's not, you know, it's not a Benz, it's not a Bentley, but I could have got a Toyota, but I don't want a fucking Toyota. You know, I got me a 2016. You know, so that was a compromise. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna buy a new car because new cars are overpriced, but I am gonna get the car that I want, and I like the Infiniti. I was like, I'm gonna drive this. So you shouldn't feel bad about what you do with your money. Just, you should only sort of make sure though that you show balance, that you take care of your business first. Just handle your business. Like don't be a person who is driving a luxury car and you ain't got no goddamn life insurance. Stupid. Sorry, if you're doing that, you're not stupid. But you're not stupid, but what you're doing is stupid. Just know the difference. You know, don't be a person who is, you know, who's got money to go to a comedy show because Kevin Hart's in town, but when they ask you to pay for your kid's tutoring program, you act like you ain't got no money. No, you have money to go see the Black Panther or go to the comedy show. You got enough money to take care of your child, right? So, you know, just take care of business first. Eat your vegetables before you eat the chocolate cake. That's the point. That's the point. Oh, by the way, tomorrow night we're doing a special lecture in the Black Business School on how to create a long-term Black economic and educational excellence plan for your child. I'm going to break it down in detail, exactly how much you should put in, exactly the steps to give your child an endowment that will change their life. If you want to join us, you can register at drboyceseminars.com. That's drboyceseminars.com. It's not free, but, you know, I mean, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. It's something I've been spending a lot of time putting together for you guys, and I know you're going to like it. I know you're going to benefit from it. So, anyway, let me see here. You just telling the truth. Yeah, I think it's the truth. Please don't get started on Jussie Smollett. I'm so pissed off the charges were dropped saying he's crying wolf. Well, why people do it all the time and we get killed when the cops show up. Yeah, the whole Jussie Smollett thing was weird and confusing to me. Because first, it's like people were calling him out on his bullshit, which they should have because they knew he was lying. And then it became like let's support Jussie because white people do this all the time and it's okay. And I'm like, wait, so we're not calling him on his bullshit anymore? Oh, okay, now we're supposed to be supporting him. Yeah, I didn't get it, you know. I do feel like he was overcharged. 16 felonies is a bit much. But, you know, I mean, I'm still not a fan of his. He does not represent Black power to me, in my opinion. He represents the agenda. And so I'm not real big on the Jussie Smollett bandwagon, I ain't gonna lie. I'm with you. To the hell with Jussie. I think it's a personal issue. Yes. Y'all leave Jussie alone. Let me see. Does college still benefit us? Yes, it can if you do it right. You got to keep the costs low, keep the debt low, and also make sure that you get the skills that you need in order to achieve your long-term objective. Your long-term objective should be to make enough money to pay back the debt and to also have multiple streams of income. Everybody has to have multiple streams of income. That's the key idea. So a lot of college graduates are being screwed because the debt's too high, they pay too much, and they only have one skill. They're one-trick ponies. They don't have the ability to have different ways to make money. And for people like you, people that look like us, you got to be extra diligent about making sure that you have all the skills you need in order to be successful. Let's see here. He should have bowed down like the rest of them, but if it was me, I'd probably do what he did. No harm. Okay. Soccer players kiss themselves all over when they score. Grown kids. Are the kids grown? No, they're not grown. My biological daughter's grown, but the kids in my house are underage. They're children, 15, 11, and 8. Do you think Omari was being a creep? I don't think he should do it again. I think it was a little overkill. Yeah. Just watching. Nah, there's nothing to this normal. I agree. Jay didn't even pay attention. Yeah. Forget Jussie, that white dude. I don't buy him for beating up a black woman. Yeah, that's not cool either.
Have a good one.
Hey, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Hold on, I'm gonna buy my shoes. Thank you.
$25.93.
Oh, I don't sign anything? Oh, okay. Thank you. You too. Thank you. Well, since Jay-Z has been linked and is soon to be implicated in the R. Kelly mess, oh yeah. Well, I mean, if they start taking down the rappers for sleeping with 17-year-olds and 16-year-olds, shit, y'all might as well wipe out the whole damn industry. That's the thing. I mean, and I personally think it's almost like when kids commit crimes, they also tell the parents that you're responsible for what your child is doing. I kind of think, if your daughter's a 16-year-old groupie hoe and she's going to concerts chasing down rappers so she can have sex with them, you as a parent should also be held accountable for that. Like, I kind of think, like, it's almost like truancy laws or laws, that, like, if my child keeps on going out and gangbanging and killing people, at some point, the judge is going to say something to me as the parent to say, you need to control your child. So I kind of think, I think it's like if you live in the real world and you've ever been 16 or 17, you know that, a lot of 17-year-olds ain't sweet little innocent children. I wasn't. Shit, when I was 16, 17, if I was determined to go murder somebody, I would have done that. If I was determined to go steal something, which I did. I actually stole things when I was 17. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's not like you could just blame somebody else and act like I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I kind of think, on one hand, like, men should be cautious, right? If you know that she's underage, you shouldn't be with that woman. And really, if you over 30 something and you gotta check for ID, you probably need to kind of reflect on your choice of dating alternatives, right? Like why are you 36 and trying to sleep with girls where you have to check their ID, you know. But then again, though, that's not illegal. If she's 18 and you're over 18 too, that's not illegal, right? So, you know, if we're gonna let men put their penises in each other's butts and women, you know, do what they do, you know, when they become lesbians, then there's nothing immoral as well about older men sleeping with younger women. It's been happening since the beginning of time. But clearly there's a legal line, right? There's a legal line that has to be observed. And I think what makes it complex is that, you know, the victims in these crimes are not always dumb little innocent retarded people who don't know what's going on. In many cases, they might connive or scheme or do things that are deceptive to catch the person in a compromised situation. So I'll give you an example. When Lawrence Taylor, the football player, got caught up, I heard a really intriguing story from a lady who told me she was a butt doctor, or she worked for a butt doctor. And I was like, I don't even know what a butt doctor is. And she said basically it was a doctor in Brazil who would come to the US and give strippers butt injections so their booties can get all big and they can risk like having their limbs amputated after they get infected with a dirty needle or whatever chemicals they're putting in their ass. So she worked for the butt doctor, and she said that, you know, when Lawrence Taylor got caught up, that he got caught up with basically a female gang, that there was a female gang of 3 women, 15, the gang was 3 girls, they were 15, 16, and 19. And they were not, you know, innocent little kids. They plotted deliberately, they plotted to find men that they knew they could lure with sex. You know, and again, so the same way, you know, a Bill Cosby predator lures women with his power and his money, there are women also who are predators who lure men with their sex. That's why I tell women, don't go chasing every man who has a little bit of money in his pocket, because some of these men are bad people. Bad people get away with bad things because they fucked you and lured you in by lying to you or by showing you something, some shiny object that got your attention. So I tell the men the same thing. You know, you can't be trusting every big butt and a smile, because some of these big butts are attached to very evil, conniving, maniacally scheming minds, you know, fucking evil masterminds and shit, Cardi B types, you know. And so basically, you know, it's like with Lawrence Taylor, where he got caught up was the 3 girls, 15, 16, and 19, they would look in the newspaper and shit, and they would talk to their friends and would find out, like, you know, like strippers do, you know, like, where the ballers at, girl? And they would be looking for the ballers to come into town, the rappers, athletes, celebrities, any guy that they felt they could manipulate based on the fact that he wants the cheap, easy sex. You know, he so they could lure him in with the sex, because they were very pretty girls. The oldest one especially, she was very pretty. So the oldest one, the 19-year-old, got fake IDs for the other girls, right? So if you were to ask them, like, well, girl, I need to see your ID, you don't look 18, they had ID. So the person would be an unwilling, unknowing participant in sex with an underage minor. But to make it even more complex, what they did was they did a Cardi B type situation, where basically they would use date rape drugs. Men aren't the only ones who use date rape drugs. And so in fact, it's, you know, men use date rape drugs. I guess if they do that, they use it to get sex. I actually would be more scared of somebody who uses a date rape drug to get their rent money. Like, I don't know which is the bigger lure. Which one do you think provides the bigger incentive for somebody to do some scheming, to get a little ass, or to pay their rent, or to feed their kids, or to buy, you know, food when they're hungry, right? So anyway, they would use the date rape drug to get the men sedated. So once the man got sedated, they would get in the bed, and they would put the 15-year-old in the bed with the man and take pictures of the man in bed with the 15-year-old. And so then what they would do is they would blackmail the man. They'd be like, we got these pictures of you in bed with a 15-year-old, and if you don't give us $10,000, we're going to call the police, we're going to call your team, we're going to call your wife, and we're going to shame you, humiliate you. You're going to lose everything. You're going to lose your family, you're going to lose all your money, and you might even lose your freedom. And what happened was a lot of these men paid up because they were so scared. And so if you can't empathize with the fact that these men were victims, then you're every bit as bad as the men who blame women for rape. Like, if you can't empathize, like, there are people like, well, he shouldn't have been cheating on his wife. Yeah, well, you know, if a woman gets raped, there are people who say, well, she shouldn't have been in his room at 2 o'clock in the morning in a mini skirt, you know, thinking that she's up there just to talk. You know, like, so really, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, you know, we don't have a lot of empathy, you know, for people that are victimized by other people, or we always assume that we know who the victim is from the jump. Really in this society, we always assume the woman is the victim and that the man is the perpetrator. There's so many ways that a man can just do something that's naive and innocent and have people label him as a predator because they can always shame him with sex. They shame men with sex. Women, for some reason, they don't bring out what women do. They don't bring, because remember, every time a man is fucking, there's usually a woman involved. There's a woman somewhere around. He's usually fucking a woman. So there's some woman who agreed to have sex with him, but they will shame the shit out of a man who fucks women or who hits on women or whatever. But they have nothing to say about the women who are also doing their own maneuvering in the background. So what it kind of does is it really says, you know, like the feminist stuff has to be checked a little bit, because it's like, okay, y'all talking about y'all want equality, you want equality, but you also want preferential treatment, which is not